A racist manager named Mr. Thompson humiliates Erica, a black woman checking in, and questions her right to stay at the luxury hotel. But what she did next turned the entire situation and their lives completely upside down. Before we get into the story, comment below where in the world you are watching from today. And if you like this story, don't forget to subscribe. Erica Johnson stood in front of the gleaming glass doors of the Starlight Hotel, her heart fluttering with excitement and a touch of nerves. She took a deep breath, inhaling the sweet scent of blooming flowers that lined the entrance. This was it, her first real vacation in years. As a nurse, Erica was used to long shifts, endless responsibilities, and the constant buzz of hospital life. But here, surrounded by the hotel's luxurious grounds, she felt a world away from the beeping monitors and urgent calls of her everyday life. "You deserve this," she whispered to herself, clutching her small suitcase. Her fingers brushed against the smooth fabric of her favorite sundress, packed specially for this trip. It was a far cry from her usual scrubs, but Erica was determined to embrace every moment of relaxation. As she pushed through the revolving door, the cool air of the lobby washed over her. Erica's eyes widened, taking in the sparkling chandeliers and plush carpets. It was grander than she had imagined, and for a moment she felt out of place. As Erica stepped into the grand lobby of the Starlight Hotel, her eyes widened in awe. Crystal chandeliers sparkled overhead, casting a warm glow on the polished marble floors. The air was filled with a subtle, luxurious scent that she couldn't quite place. It was a world away from the sterile hospital corridors she was used to. Erica clutched her worn suitcase tighter, suddenly aware of how out of place it looked among the designer luggage being wheeled by other guests. She smoothed down her simple sundress, wishing she had packed something a little fancier. A group of well-dressed women glided past her, their heels clicking confidently on the marble floor. They chatted and laughed, seemingly at ease in this opulent environment. Erica couldn't help but notice their perfectly styled hair and manicured nails, a stark contrast to her own practical appearance. As she made her way to the check-in desk, Erica overheard snippets of conversations about golf courses, spa treatments, and exclusive restaurants. She felt a pang of uncertainty. Would she fit in here? Could she truly relax in a place so different from her everyday life? Despite her growing self-consciousness, Erica squared her shoulders and approached the front desk. The receptionist greeted her with a warm smile, which helped ease some of her tension. "Welcome to Starlight Hotel, ma'am. How may I assist you today?" the receptionist asked politely. Erica fumbled with her reservation confirmation. "Hi, I have a reservation under Erica Johnson," she said, her voice slightly shaky. As the receptionist processed her check-in, Erica's gaze wandered around the lobby. She noticed a distinguished-looking couple entering the hotel, their designer clothes and confident demeanor drawing attention. The woman's diamond necklace caught the light, sparkling brilliantly. Erica felt a mix of admiration and discomfort. She had saved for months for this vacation, pinching pennies and picking up extra shifts. Yet here were people who seemed to breathe luxury as easily as air. As Erica waited patiently at the front desk, a tall, middle-aged man in an impeccable suit approached. His name tag gleamed. "Mr. Thompson, Hotel Manager." His eyes swept over Erica, and his lips tightened into a thin line. "Is there a problem here?" Mr. Thompson asked the receptionist, his voice crisp and cold. The receptionist looked confused. "No, sir, I'm just checking in Ms. Johnson." Mr. Thompson's gaze settled on Erica, his eyes narrowing. "I see. And you're sure you have a reservation, Ms. Johnson?" he asked, emphasizing her name in a way that made Erica's stomach clench. Erica nodded, trying to keep her voice steady. "Yes, I do, for a week's stay." Mr. Thompson raised an eyebrow. "Our rooms are quite expensive. Are you certain you can afford this?" The words hit Erica like a slap. She felt her cheeks grow hot with embarrassment and anger. Other guests nearby turned to look, making her feel even more uncomfortable. "I've saved up for this vacation," Erica explained calmly, though her heart was racing. "I assure you I can afford it." Mr. Thompson's lips curled into a smirk. "Well, if you say so. Just be aware that our amenities come at a premium. We wouldn't want any surprises at checkout." Erica took a deep breath, pushing down the hurt that threatened to overwhelm her. She had faced prejudice before, but she hadn't expected it here, not during her hard-earned vacation. "Thank you for your concern, Mr. Thompson," she said politely, her voice steady despite the turmoil inside. "I've budgeted carefully for this trip. I'm sure everything will be fine." Mr. Thompson looked taken aback by her composure. He cleared his throat, clearly not used to such grace in the face of his rudeness. "Very well," he said curtly, before turning on his heel and walking away. The receptionist, looking mortified, quickly finished Erica's check-in process. "I'm so sorry about that, Ms. Johnson," she whispered, handing over the room key. "Enjoy your stay with us." Erica accepted the key with a small smile, her hand trembling slightly. As she turned towards the elevators, she could feel curious glances from other guests who had witnessed the exchange. The excitement she had felt earlier was now overshadowed by a heavy weight in her chest. Erica made her way to a plush armchair in the lobby, her suitcase tucked neatly beside her. The opulent surroundings seemed to mock her now, a stark contrast to the warmth and comfort she had hoped to find. She pulled out her phone, trying to distract herself from the lingering hurt of Mr. Thompson's words. As she scrolled through her messages, a hushed conversation nearby caught her attention. A middle-aged white couple had settled into the sofa across from her, their designer luggage piled around them. They spoke in low voices, but their words carried clearly to Erica's ears. "Harold, did you see that?" the woman whispered, her eyes darting towards Erica. "I can't believe they're letting just anyone stay here now." The man, Harold, grunted in agreement. "I know, dear. It's not like it used to be. How can someone like that even afford this place?" Erica's fingers tightened around her phone. She kept her eyes down, but her ears burned with each cruel word. "Maybe she's someone's maid," the woman suggested, her voice dripping with disdain. "Or perhaps she won some sort of contest. There's no way she belongs here otherwise." Erica felt a lump forming in her throat. She had worked so hard for this vacation, saved for months, dreaming of the peace and luxury she would find. Now, those dreams seemed to crumble around her. But as the couple continued their hurtful speculation, Erica took a deep breath. She straightened her back and lifted her chin, refusing to let their ignorance diminish her worth. She knew she deserved to be there regardless of what anyone else thought. With quiet dignity, Erica stood up, gathered her belongings, and walked towards the elevators. She could feel the couple's eyes on her back, but she didn't give them the satisfaction of looking their way. As the elevator doors closed behind her, Erica let out a shaky breath, her composure intact, but her heart heavy with the weight of prejudice she couldn't seem to escape, even on her vacation. Erica stepped into her hotel room, her eyes widening as she took in the space. It was smaller than she had expected, certainly not the luxurious suite she had originally booked. She sighed, realizing this must be Mr. Thompson's doing. Despite the disappointment, she tried to focus on the positives. The room was clean and cozy, with a comfortable-looking bed and a small window overlooking the city. Erica set her suitcase down and sank onto the edge of the bed, her shoulders sagging as the weight of the day's events settled upon her. She closed her eyes, replaying the cold reception at the front desk, Mr. Thompson's dismissive attitude, and the hurtful whispers of the couple in the lobby. A lump formed in her throat, and she felt tears prickling behind her eyelids. "No," Erica whispered to herself, shaking her head. "I won't let them ruin this for me." She took a deep breath, filling her lungs with the crisp, air-conditioned air. As she exhaled, she imagined releasing all the negativity that had built up since her arrival. Erica stood up and walked to the window, gazing out at the bustling city below. "This is my vacation," she said softly, her voice gaining strength. "I worked hard for this. I deserve to be here." Erica turned back to her suitcase and began unpacking, carefully hanging up her clothes in the small closet. As she worked, she made a conscious effort to push aside the hurtful comments and focus on the week ahead. She thought about the spa treatments she had planned, the restaurants she wanted to try, and the local attractions she hoped to visit. A small smile tugged at her lips as she imagined herself relaxing by the pool, book in hand, without a care in the world. "I'm going to make the most of this," Erica declared to the empty room. "No matter what anyone thinks or says, I'm here to relax and enjoy myself." With renewed determination, Erica finished unpacking and freshened up in the bathroom. She looked at herself in the mirror, straightening her shoulders and lifting her chin. Erica stepped out of her room, determined to explore the hotel's amenities. She made her way to the spa first, drawn by the promise of relaxation. The scent of lavender and eucalyptus greeted her as she entered the serene space. "Welcome," a receptionist said, her smile not quite reaching her eyes. "Do you have an appointment?" Erica shook her head. "No, I'm just looking around for now." The receptionist's smile tightened. "I see. Well, feel free to browse our services." As Erica perused the spa menu, she couldn't help but notice the sidelong glances from other guests. A couple whispering to each other quickly averted their eyes when she looked their way. The familiar ache of being an outsider settled in her chest, but she pushed it aside. Next, Erica made her way to the pool area. The water sparkled invitingly under the warm sun, and plush lounge chairs lined the deck. She found an empty chair and settled in, pulling out a book she'd brought along. As she read, Erica became aware of the subtle shift in atmosphere around her. Nearby conversations hushed, and she felt the weight of curious stares. A group of women lounging nearby kept stealing glances at her, their expressions a mix of confusion and disdain. Feeling uncomfortable, Erica decided to explore the gardens. She walked along winding paths lined with vibrant flowers and manicured hedges. The beauty of the surroundings momentarily lifted her spirits, but even here she couldn't escape the feeling of being watched. A groundskeeper tending to some roses paused in his work, eyeing her suspiciously as she passed. Erica offered a friendly smile, but he quickly looked away, returning to his task with renewed focus. As the day wore on, Erica found herself constantly reminded of the earlier incidents. The luxury of the hotel was undeniable, but the persistent glances and whispers from both guests and staff made her feel like an intruder in a world where she didn't belong. By the time evening approached, Erica's excitement had dimmed considerably. She made her way back to her room, her shoulders heavy with the weight of the day's experiences. Despite the opulent surroundings, she couldn't shake the feeling that she was unwelcome in this place of privilege. Erica made her way back to the pool area, determined to enjoy the warm afternoon sun. She found a quiet spot away from the other guests and settled into a comfortable lounge chair. The sound of water lapping gently against the pool's edge was soothing, and she closed her eyes, letting out a deep breath. As she lay there, Erica's mind drifted to her life as a nurse. She thought about the countless patients she had cared for over the years, their faces flashing through her memory. There was the elderly man who had no family left but always greeted her with a warm smile. The young mother who fought bravely against cancer, drawing strength from Erica's unwavering support. The scared little boy who held onto her hand tightly during his first hospital stay. A small smile tugged at Erica's lips as she remembered the lives she had touched. She had been there for people during their darkest moments, offering comfort and hope when they needed it most. It wasn't always easy, but it was always worth it. Erica's thoughts turned to the sacrifices she had made for her career. The long nights, the missed holidays, the emotional toll of caring for others day in and day out. She had given so much of herself to her patients, often at the expense of her own needs and desires. As the warm sun caressed her skin, Erica felt a sense of peace wash over her. She reminded herself that she deserved this time to unwind, to recharge her batteries. Her dedication and hard work had earned her this moment of relaxation. Erica opened her eyes and gazed at the sparkling water of the pool. She took a deep breath, inhaling the scent of sunscreen and chlorine. For the first time since arriving at the hotel, she began to feel truly at ease. The judgmental stares and whispers seemed to fade away as she focused on her own worth and the value of her work. As Erica basked in the warm sunlight, her moment of peace was interrupted by familiar voices. She opened her eyes and saw the middle-aged couple from the lobby, the same ones who had made those hurtful comments earlier. They were now settled in lounge chairs not far from her, laughing and chatting with other guests. Erica's heart sank a little. The couple looked so carefree, sipping colorful cocktails and sharing jokes. Their earlier words echoed in her mind, stinging just as much as they had in the lobby. She watched as they effortlessly mingled with the other guests, their smiles bright and welcoming. A mix of emotions washed over Erica. She felt hurt, remembering how they had questioned her right to be at this hotel. But there was also a flicker of anger. Why should they get to enjoy themselves while making others feel small? Erica took a deep breath, trying to push away the negative feelings. She reminded herself that she had worked hard for this vacation. She deserved to be here just as much as anyone else. The couple's prejudice was their problem, not hers. Determined not to let their presence ruin her relaxation, Erica closed her eyes again. She focused on the warmth of the sun on her skin and the gentle splash of water from the pool. She thought about all the patients she had helped, all the lives she had touched. Those were the things that truly mattered. Still, it was hard to completely ignore the couple's laughter and chatter. Erica found herself stealing glances at them, a part of her wishing she could confront them about their earlier behavior. But she knew that wouldn't solve anything. Instead, she tried to channel her energy into positive thoughts, reminding herself of her own worth and the value of her work. As Erica lay by the pool, trying to ignore the couple's laughter, her mind drifted to past experiences. She remembered her first day as a nurse, fresh out of school, eager to make a difference. The excitement had been short-lived when a patient refused her care, demanding a real nurse instead of her. That memory stung even now, but Erica had chosen to respond with kindness and professionalism. She'd calmly explained her qualifications and eventually won the patient's trust through her exceptional care. Another incident flashed in her mind. During a busy night shift in the ER, a man had yelled racial slurs at her while she was treating his wife. Erica's hands had trembled, but she'd stayed focused on her patient, saving the woman's life despite the husband's hateful words. These memories, though painful, reminded Erica of her strength. She had faced prejudice before and had always risen above it. She'd let her work speak for itself, touching lives and making a difference regardless of the color of her skin. Erica opened her eyes, looking at the blue sky above. She realized that these experiences had shaped her, made her resilient. The couple by the pool, Mr. Thompson at the front desk, they were just new versions of old challenges. A small smile tugged at Erica's lips. She had earned this vacation through years of hard work and dedication. No one could take that away from her. She deserved to be here, to enjoy the luxury and relaxation, just like everyone else. With renewed determination, Erica sat up on her lounge chair. She decided that she wouldn't let anyone's prejudice ruin her well-deserved break. She would enjoy every moment of her stay, savoring the peace and comfort she so rarely got to experience. Erica took a deep breath, feeling a sense of calm wash over her. She was here, she belonged, and she would make the most of it. No matter what others thought or said, she knew her worth. And that was all that mattered. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the hotel grounds, Erica made her way to the hotel's elegant restaurant. The maitre d' greeted her with a polite nod, leading her to a small table near the window. Erica couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and nervousness as she settled into her seat. The restaurant was a picture of luxury, with crystal chandeliers twinkling overhead and soft classical music playing in the background. Erica smoothed her dress, feeling slightly out of place among the other diners in their designer outfits. But she took a deep breath, reminding herself that she belonged here just as much as anyone else. As she perused the menu, Erica's eyes widened at the prices. She decided to treat herself to a special meal, knowing she had worked hard for this moment. When the waiter arrived, she ordered with confidence, determined to enjoy every bite. While waiting for her food, Erica observed the other guests around her. At a nearby table, a group of businessmen laughed loudly, their voices carrying across the room. They snapped their fingers to get the waiter's attention, barely looking up as they ordered expensive bottles of wine. To her left, a couple argued in hushed tones about the quality of their appetizers, insisting on speaking to the chef. Erica watched as the waiter scurried away, looking flustered and apologetic. These interactions made Erica pause. She saw the privilege and entitlement on display, so different from the world she knew as a nurse. In her profession, gratitude and kindness were paramount. Here, it seemed some people took luxury for granted. As her meal arrived, beautifully presented on fine china, Erica felt a renewed sense of purpose. She realized that her experiences as a nurse, dealing with all kinds of people in their most vulnerable moments, had given her a unique perspective. She was strong enough to handle whatever came her way during her stay, whether it was subtle racism or outright rudeness. Erica savored each bite of her dinner, appreciating the flavors and the rare opportunity to indulge. As she ate, she felt a quiet confidence growing within her. She might not have the designer clothes or the sense of entitlement that some of the other guests had, but she had something far more valuable: compassion, resilience, and a deep understanding of what truly mattered in life. The next morning, Erica woke up to the soft sunlight filtering through the curtains of her hotel room. She stretched and smiled, feeling refreshed and ready to start a new day. The negative experiences from yesterday seemed to fade away as she looked forward to exploring the nearby town. Erica got out of bed and walked to the window, pulling back the curtains to reveal a beautiful view of the surrounding area. The town below looked charming and inviting, with its quaint buildings and tree-lined streets. She couldn't wait to discover its hidden gems. As she prepared for the day, Erica hummed a cheerful tune. She chose a comfortable yet stylish outfit, perfect for a day of sightseeing. While applying her makeup, she looked at herself in the mirror and took a deep breath. "Today is going to be a good day," she told her reflection. "Focus on the positive, Erica. Leave the negativity behind." With renewed determination, Erica packed her bag with essentials for the day: a bottle of water, her wallet, and a small guidebook she had picked up from the hotel lobby. She slipped on her most comfortable walking shoes, ready for a day of exploration. Before leaving her room, Erica paused for a moment. She closed her eyes and took another deep breath, centering herself. She thought about all the wonderful things she might see and experience today: the local cafes, the shops, maybe even a museum or two. The possibilities filled her with excitement. With a spring in her step, Erica left her room and made her way to the hotel lobby. She held her head high, reminding herself that she deserved to be here and to enjoy every moment of her vacation. As she walked through the lobby, she noticed Mr. Thompson at the front desk. Instead of avoiding his gaze, Erica smiled and gave him a friendly nod. She wouldn't let his previous behavior dampen her spirits. Stepping out of the hotel into the bright morning sunshine, Erica felt a sense of freedom and adventure. The town awaited her, full of new sights, sounds, and experiences. She took a deep breath of the fresh air and set off down the street, ready to embrace whatever the day might bring. As Erica exited the hotel, the warm sunlight caressed her face, filling her with a sense of optimism for the day ahead. She took a deep breath, savoring the fresh air and the promise of new experiences. However, just as she stepped onto the sidewalk, she found herself face to face with the same middle-aged couple from the day before. The couple, dressed in expensive resort wear, barely glanced at Erica as they approached. The woman's eyes skimmed over her dismissively, while the man didn't even bother to look up from his phone. Their noses were turned up slightly, exuding an air of superiority that was impossible to miss. For a brief moment, Erica felt a familiar sting in her chest. The couple's behavior brought back memories of yesterday's hurtful remarks and judgmental glances. But as quickly as the feeling arose, Erica pushed it aside. She straightened her shoulders and lifted her chin, refusing to let their attitude dampen her spirits. "Good morning," Erica said politely as they passed, her voice clear and confident. The couple mumbled an inaudible response, quickening their pace as they entered the hotel. Erica watched them go, shaking her head slightly. She could have let their behavior upset her, could have carried that negativity with her throughout the day. But Erica chose differently. Taking another deep breath, she reminded herself of her own worth. "Their opinion doesn't define me," she thought. "I'm here to enjoy myself, and that's exactly what I'm going to do." With renewed determination, Erica turned her attention to the charming town before her. The quaint buildings and bustling streets beckoned, promising a day full of discovery and joy. She adjusted her bag on her shoulder and took her first steps into the town, leaving the couple and their prejudices behind. As she walked, Erica felt a weight lift from her shoulders. She had faced the couple's disdain head-on and come out stronger. Their behavior hadn't ruined her day. Instead, it had reinforced her resolve to make the most of every moment. Erica strolled down the charming streets of the small town, her eyes wide with wonder. The quaint shops and colorful storefronts were a far cry from the sterile hospital corridors she was used to. As she walked, she felt the tension in her shoulders begin to melt away. She stepped into a cozy bookstore, the smell of old pages and fresh coffee wrapping around her like a warm hug. Erica ran her fingers along the spines of well-worn novels, picking up a few that caught her eye. In the quiet corner of the shop, she settled into a plush armchair and lost herself in the pages of a heartwarming story. Later, Erica found herself in a local art gallery. The vibrant paintings and intricate sculptures spoke to her soul in a way she hadn't experienced in a long time. She stood before a particularly moving piece, a swirl of colors that seemed to capture the essence of hope and resilience. It reminded her of the strength she carried within herself. As the afternoon sun warmed her face, Erica sat on a bench in the town square, watching children play and couples stroll hand in hand. She closed her eyes, listening to the gentle splash of the nearby fountain and the melodic chirping of birds. For the first time in months, she felt truly at peace. Erica's mind drifted to her life back home. The long shifts, the emotional toll of caring for others, the constant pressure to be strong for her patients. She realized just how much she had needed this break, this chance to recharge and reconnect with herself. A smile played on her lips as she thought about the simple joys she had experienced today. The taste of freshly baked pastries from a local bakery, the sound of laughter drifting from a nearby cafe, the feeling of sun-warmed cobblestones beneath her feet. These small pleasures, so often overlooked in her busy life, now felt like precious gifts. As the sun began its descent in the sky, Erica made her way back to the hotel, her heart lighter than it had been in months. The day of exploration had done wonders for her spirit, and she was eager to continue her relaxation. Stepping into the hotel's opulent lobby, Erica felt a newfound confidence. She held her head high as she walked past the front desk, barely noticing the curious glances from other guests. Her mind was set on one thing, the inviting pool she had spotted earlier. Erica changed into her swimsuit and made her way to the pool area. To her delight, it was nearly empty. The water glistened in the late afternoon sun, beckoning her with its promise of cool refreshment. She dipped her toes in, savoring the sensation before sliding into the pool with a contented sigh. As she glided through the water, Erica felt the last remnants of tension leave her body. The gentle lapping of the water against the pool's edge created a soothing rhythm, and she found herself lost in thought. Her mind drifted to the patients she had cared for over the years. She thought of the scared young mother she had comforted during a difficult delivery, the elderly man whose hand she had held as he took his last breath, and the child whose infectious laughter had brightened even the darkest days in the pediatric ward. A warm feeling spread through Erica's chest as she realized the impact she had made in so many lives. Despite the challenges and prejudices she faced, her work as a nurse brought her a deep sense of fulfillment. She floated on her back, gazing up at the sky, and felt an overwhelming gratitude for her calling. As Erica floated peacefully in the pool, she heard familiar voices approaching. She glanced over to see the middle-aged couple from earlier making their way to a pair of lounge chairs nearby. Erica's heart sank a little, but she reminded herself to stay positive. Climbing out of the pool, Erica wrapped herself in a fluffy towel and settled onto her own chair. She pulled out the book she'd brought along, determined to lose herself in its pages and ignore the couple's presence. The warm afternoon sun caressed Erica's skin as she read, the gentle breeze carrying the scent of tropical flowers. For a while, everything was peaceful. Erica found herself getting lost in her novel, the world around her fading away. Suddenly, a groan broke through the tranquil atmosphere. Erica looked up from her book, startled by the noise. The middle-aged man was clutching his chest, his face contorted in pain. "Harold, what's wrong?" his wife asked, her voice rising with panic. "My chest," Harold gasped, his breathing labored. "It hurts. Can't breathe." Erica watched as the situation unfolded, her nurse's instincts kicking in immediately. She could see that something was seriously wrong. The man's face had turned an alarming shade of gray, and he was clearly struggling to breathe. The wife began to panic, her eyes darting around frantically. "Help! Somebody help us!" she cried out, her voice shrill with fear. Erica felt torn. Part of her wanted to rush to the man's aid, but another part hesitated, remembering how the couple had treated her. She watched as other guests began to notice the commotion, some looking concerned while others seemed unsure of what to do. As the seconds ticked by, Erica could see Harold's condition worsening. His wife was becoming more hysterical, her cries for help growing more desperate. Erica knew that every moment counted in a situation like this. As Harold collapsed onto the pool deck, clutching his chest and gasping for air, chaos erupted around him. His wife's piercing screams cut through the peaceful afternoon, shattering the tranquility of the luxury hotel's pool area. "Help! Someone please help my husband!" she wailed, her voice thick with panic and desperation. Guests scattered, some rushing away from the scene while others stood frozen, unsure of what to do. The air was thick with tension and fear as Harold writhed on the ground, his face contorted in agony. Mr. Thompson, who had been making his rounds near the pool area, heard the commotion and hurried over. His polished shoes clacked against the tiles as he approached, his usual air of superiority replaced by wide-eyed alarm. "What's going on here?" he demanded, his voice wavering slightly as he took in the scene before him. Harold's wife turned to Mr. Thompson, her mascara streaking down her face. "Please, you have to do something. My husband, I think he's having a heart attack." Mr. Thompson's face paled as the gravity of the situation hit him. He looked down at Harold, then back at the distraught wife, his hands fidgeting nervously with his tie. It was clear that the hotel manager was completely out of his depth. We should call an ambulance," Mr. Thompson stammered, fumbling for his phone. His fingers trembled as he tried to dial, nearly dropping the device in his panic. "Isn't there a doctor here? Don't you have medical staff?" Harold's wife demanded, her earlier snobbery replaced by raw fear and desperation. Mr. Thompson shook his head, sweat beading on his forehead. We don't have anyone on staff for emergencies like this," he admitted, his voice barely above a whisper. The manager's eyes darted around wildly, searching for help among the gathered crowd of stunned onlookers. His usual composure had completely crumbled, leaving him looking lost and helpless in the face of this unexpected crisis. Without hesitation, Erica sprang into action. Her years of nursing experience kicked in, overriding any lingering feelings of resentment or discomfort. She rushed to Harold's side, her heart pounding but her mind clear and focused. "I'm a nurse," Erica announced firmly, kneeling beside the stricken man. "Sir, can you hear me?" Harold's eyes were wide with fear, his breath coming in short, painful gasps. Erica quickly assessed his condition, noting his clammy skin and the way he clutched at his chest. She recognized the telltale signs of a heart attack. Turning to the stunned crowd, Erica's voice rang out with authority. "Someone call 911 immediately. We need an ambulance here now." Mr. Thompson, still fumbling with his phone, nodded gratefully and stepped aside to make the call. Erica turned her attention back to Harold, her hands steady as she loosened his collar and checked his pulse. "Sir, I'm going to help you. Try to stay calm and breathe slowly," Erica said soothingly. She turned to Harold's wife, who stood nearby, trembling. "Ma'am, does your husband have any heart medication with him?" The wife shook her head, tears streaming down her face. "No, he's never had heart problems before." Erica nodded, her mind racing through the steps she needed to take. "Okay, I need someone to bring me the hotel's first aid kit and an AED if they have one," she called out. As a staff member rushed to fetch the requested items, Erica began chest compressions. The other guests and staff watched in stunned silence as she worked tirelessly, her movements precise and purposeful. The same people who had dismissed her earlier now looked on with a mix of awe and gratitude. Mr. Thompson returned, his face pale. "The ambulance is on its way," he reported, his voice shaky. Erica nodded without breaking her rhythm. "Good. Now I need everyone to step back and give us some space." As she continued to administer life-saving measures, Erica's calm demeanor and expert actions stood in stark contrast to the chaos that had erupted just moments before. In this critical moment, all the prejudices and preconceptions that had colored her stay at the hotel seemed to fade away. The only thing that mattered now was saving a life. Erica worked tirelessly to stabilize Harold, her hands moving with practiced precision. She continued chest compressions, counting under her breath, her focus unwavering. Sweat beaded on her forehead, but she didn't pause for even a moment. "Come on, sir," she murmured, her voice barely audible. "Stay with us." The hotel staff member returned with the first aid kit and AED. Erica quickly attached the defibrillator pads to Harold's chest, following the device's automated instructions. The machine analyzed Harold's heart rhythm, and Erica prepared to deliver a shock if necessary. "Clear," she called out, making sure no one was touching Harold. The shock was delivered, and Erica immediately resumed compressions. Mr. Thompson stood nearby, his earlier coldness replaced by a look of awe and disbelief. He watched as Erica, the woman he had dismissed so callously, fought to save a life with remarkable skill and determination. The gravity of the situation hit him hard, and he felt a wave of shame wash over him. Harold's wife sobbed quietly, her eyes fixed on Erica's every move. The realization of how close she was to losing her husband and the courage of this stranger fighting to save him overwhelmed her. She reached out and clutched Mr. Thompson's arm for support. She's amazing," the wife whispered, her voice choked with emotion. Mr. Thompson nodded, unable to speak. The chaos of the scene contrasted sharply with Erica's calm and focused demeanor. She continued to work, her movements steady and purposeful, her voice clear as she called out instructions to those around her. The minutes ticked by, feeling like hours to those watching. Erica didn't falter, her determination unwavering. She monitored Harold's vital signs, adjusted her techniques as needed, and continued to fight for his life with everything she had. As Erica continued her life-saving efforts, the sound of sirens pierced the air. Within moments, paramedics rushed onto the scene, their equipment in tow. Erica didn't miss a beat, smoothly transitioning from solo rescuer to part of a professional team. "Suspected myocardial infarction," Erica reported crisply to the lead paramedic. "I've been performing CPR for approximately 12 minutes. One shock delivered via AED 5 minutes ago." The paramedics nodded, impressed by Erica's precise information and calm demeanor. They quickly took over, attaching their more advanced equipment to Harold. Erica stepped back, but remained close, ready to assist if needed. Mr. Thompson watched in awe as Erica worked seamlessly with the emergency team. Her expertise was evident in every move she made, every word she spoke. He felt a deep sense of shame, remembering how he had treated her earlier. Harold's wife stood nearby, her face streaked with tears. She couldn't take her eyes off Erica, the woman who had fought so hard to save her husband's life. The realization of how close she had come to losing Harold hit her hard, and she trembled with emotion. As the paramedics worked to stabilize Harold, Erica provided them with additional information about his condition and the measures she had taken. Her professional demeanor never wavered, even as the tension in the air remained palpable. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, the paramedics prepared to transport Harold to the hospital. They carefully lifted him onto a stretcher, the beeping of monitors filling the air. "We've got a pulse," one of the paramedics announced, causing a collective sigh of relief to ripple through the onlookers. As they wheeled Harold away, his wife followed, her eyes meeting Erica's for a brief moment. The gratitude in her gaze was unmistakable, though words failed her in that moment. The pool area fell silent as the ambulance departed, its sirens fading into the distance. The mood was somber and tense, the recent events weighing heavily on everyone present. Mr. Thompson stood rooted to the spot, his usual composure completely shattered. As the ambulance's sirens faded into the distance, a heavy silence settled over the pool area. Guests and staff stood frozen, their eyes still fixed on the spot where Harold had collapsed. Slowly, as if waking from a trance, they began to disperse. Hushed whispers and concerned glances filled the air as people tried to process what they had just witnessed. Erica remained by the poolside, her heart still racing from the intense rescue effort. She took a deep breath, feeling a mix of relief and sadness wash over her. The adrenaline that had propelled her into action was now subsiding, leaving her feeling drained and emotional. As the last of the onlookers drifted away, Erica found herself alone by the pool. The once peaceful oasis now felt eerily quiet. She gazed at the shimmering water, lost in thought. The events of the past hour replayed in her mind like a vivid movie. With a heavy sigh, Erica gathered her belongings and slowly made her way back to her room. The hotel corridors seemed longer than before, each step reminding her of how quickly life can change. As she walked, she couldn't help but think about Harold and his wife. She hoped with all her heart that he would pull through. Entering her room, Erica gently closed the door behind her and leaned against it. The silence enveloped her, a stark contrast to the chaos she had just experienced. She moved to the window, looking out at the beautiful view that had seemed so promising just days ago. Erica's mind wandered to the unexpected turn her vacation had taken. What was supposed to be a time of relaxation and rejuvenation had become something entirely different. Yet, despite the stress and emotion of the day, she felt a sense of purpose. Her skills as a nurse, the very ones she had hoped to forget for a while, had been crucial in saving a life. The next morning, Erica woke up feeling emotionally drained. The events of the previous day weighed heavily on her mind. She sat on the edge of her bed, running her fingers through her hair, trying to shake off the lingering tension in her shoulders. As she sipped her morning coffee, Erica's phone rang. Her heart skipped a beat when she saw it was the local hospital calling. With trembling hands, she answered. "Hello, is this Erica Johnson?" a kind voice asked. "Yes, this is she," Erica replied, her voice barely above a whisper. "Ms. Johnson, I'm calling from Memorial Hospital regarding the gentleman you helped yesterday at the hotel. I'm pleased to inform you that he's stable and expected to make a full recovery." Erica's eyes welled up with tears of relief. "Oh, thank goodness," she breathed, her voice cracking with emotion. The nurse on the phone continued. "The doctor said your quick action and CPR saved his life. His family wanted to express their deepest gratitude." As Erica ended the call, a wave of relief washed over her. She sat back in her chair, letting out a long, deep breath. The weight that had been pressing on her chest since yesterday began to lift. A small smile tugged at the corners of her mouth. Despite the challenges and prejudice she had faced at the hotel, Erica felt a sense of accomplishment. Her skills and quick thinking had made a real difference. She had saved a life. Erica walked to the window and looked out at the sunny day. The world seemed a little brighter now. She felt a renewed sense of purpose, remembering why she had become a nurse in the first place. To help people, to make a difference, regardless of who they were or how they treated her. As Erica was about to head out for breakfast, there was a gentle knock on her door. She opened it to find Mr. Thompson, the hotel manager, standing there with an unusually apologetic expression. "Ms. Johnson," he said, his voice softer than before. "The couple from the incident yesterday has requested to see you. They're in the lobby. Would you be willing to meet with them?" Erica's heart raced. She wasn't sure what to expect, but she nodded. "Yes, I'll meet them." Mr. Thompson led her to a quiet corner of the lobby where the couple sat. The husband, still pale and weak, was in a wheelchair. His wife stood beside him, her eyes red and puffy from crying. As Erica approached, the couple looked up. Their faces were a mix of shame, gratitude, and remorse. The wife stepped forward, her hands trembling. "Ms. Johnson," she began, her voice quivering, We can't begin to express how sorry we are for our behavior." The husband reached out and took Erica's hand in his. "You saved my life," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. "After everything we said, the way we treated you." Tears welled up in the wife's eyes. "We were so wrong," she confessed. "Our attitudes, our words, they were inexcusable. We've spent the night talking about how ashamed we are." Erica stood silent, taking in their words. The sincerity in their voices was unmistakable. "Your kindness and professionalism in the face of our racism," the husband continued, choking on the word. It's opened our eyes. We've been forced to confront our prejudices, and we're deeply sorry." The wife nodded, wiping away tears. "You didn't hesitate to help, even after how we treated you. We can't thank you enough, and we can't apologize enough either." Erica felt a lump forming in her throat. She hadn't expected this, and the raw emotion from the couple was overwhelming. Erica took a deep breath, her heart filled with a mix of emotions. She looked at the couple, their faces etched with genuine remorse and gratitude. "I appreciate your apology," Erica said softly, her voice steady and kind. "We all make mistakes, and what matters most is how we learn and grow from them." The couple looked at her with surprise and relief, clearly not expecting such a gracious response. Erica continued, "In my work as a nurse, I've learned that compassion is the most powerful tool we have. It doesn't matter how people treat us. What matters is how we choose to treat others." The husband squeezed Erica's hand, tears forming in his eyes. "You're an extraordinary person, Ms. Johnson. We don't deserve your kindness." Erica shook her head gently. "It's not about deserving. It's about understanding and growing. We're all human, and we all have the capacity to change and become better." The wife stepped forward, her voice thick with emotion. "Thank you not just for saving my husband's life, but for this valuable lesson. We promise to carry it with us always." Erica smiled warmly. "That's all I could ask for. Use this experience to spread kindness and understanding to others." The couple nodded earnestly, both wiping away tears. The husband looked up at Erica, his eyes filled with gratitude. "We can't thank you enough for what you've done. You've not only saved my life, but also opened our eyes to our own prejudices. We'll never forget this." Erica felt a wave of emotion wash over her. She hadn't expected this encounter to be so profound, but she could see the genuine change in the couple's demeanor and attitude. "Thank you for listening and for being open to change," Erica said. "That's the first step towards making the world a little bit better for everyone." The couple thanked her again, promising to carry forward the lessons they'd learned from Erica. As they parted ways, Erica could see the impact of this encounter reflected in their eyes, knowing that her actions and words had made a real difference. Later that day, as Erica was walking through the hotel lobby, she noticed Mr. Thompson approaching her. His usual stern expression was replaced with one of uncertainty and remorse. Erica braced herself, unsure of what to expect. "Ms. Johnson," Mr. Thompson began, his voice softer than Erica had ever heard it. "May I speak with you for a moment?" Erica nodded, her face calm but guarded. "Of course, Mr. Thompson." Mr. Thompson took a deep breath, visibly struggling to find the right words. I owe you an apology. My behavior towards you since your arrival has been inexcusable." Erica's eyes widened slightly, surprised by the manager's admission. She remained silent, allowing him to continue. "I made assumptions about you based on nothing but my own prejudices," Mr. Thompson confessed, his cheeks flushing with shame. "I was wrong, terribly wrong, and I'm truly sorry for how I treated you." Erica could see the genuine regret in Mr. Thompson's eyes. She nodded, acknowledging his words. "What you did yesterday by the pool was—" Mr. Thompson paused, shaking his head in admiration. "It was extraordinary. Your courage, your professionalism. I've never seen anything like it. You saved that man's life when the rest of us were paralyzed with fear." Mr. Thompson's voice cracked slightly as he continued. "I'm ashamed of how I behaved towards you. You deserved better, much better. And I'm determined to make things right, if you'll allow me." Erica could see the transformation in Mr. Thompson's demeanor. The once cold and dismissive manager now stood before her, humbled and seeking forgiveness. It was a powerful reminder of how actions could speak louder than words and change hearts in unexpected ways. Mr. Thompson cleared his throat, his hands fidgeting nervously. "Ms. Johnson, I'd like to offer you an extension of your stay here at the hotel, at no cost to you. It's the least I can do to show my gratitude for your actions and to make amends for my behavior." Erica's eyebrows rose in surprise. She hadn't expected such a generous offer. For a moment, She hesitated, unsure of how to respond. Part of her wanted to politely decline, to maintain her dignity, and show that she didn't need his charity. But another part of her saw this as an opportunity to truly enjoy the vacation she had worked so hard for. "That's very kind of you, Mr. Thompson," Erica said softly, her mind racing with thoughts. Mr. Thompson nodded, his eyes hopeful. "Please, take some time to consider it. I understand if you'd rather not, given our rocky start. But I assure you, things will be different from now on." Erica took a deep breath, weighing her options. She thought about the beautiful hotel grounds she had yet to fully explore, the peaceful moments by the pool she could still enjoy, and the chance to truly relax without the shadow of prejudice hanging over her. After a moment of reflection, Erica made her decision. "Thank you, Mr. Thompson. I appreciate your offer, and I think I'll accept it." A look of relief washed over Mr. Thompson's face. "I'm glad to hear that, Ms. Johnson. I promise you'll have a much more pleasant experience for the remainder of your stay." As Erica nodded in agreement, she felt a sense of closure settling over her. The tension that had been building since her arrival began to dissipate. She realized that this extended stay wasn't just about enjoying luxury amenities. It was an opportunity to heal and to witness the positive change her actions had inspired in others. "I look forward to it," Erica said with a genuine smile, feeling for the first time since her arrival that she truly belonged in this place. As Erica's extended stay began, she noticed a remarkable shift in the atmosphere of the hotel. The staff, once distant and aloof, now greeted her with warm smiles and genuine kindness. It was as if her heroic actions had opened their eyes to see beyond appearances and prejudices. One morning, as Erica made her way to the breakfast buffet, she was surprised to find a beautifully arranged table waiting for her. A young waiter approached with a beaming smile. "Good morning, Ms. Johnson. We've prepared a special breakfast for you today." Touched by the gesture, Erica felt a lump form in her throat. "Thank you," she managed to say, her voice thick with emotion. Throughout the day, similar acts of kindness continued. The spa staff offered her a complimentary massage, praising her quick thinking and bravery. At the pool, an attendant made sure she always had fresh towels and her favorite drink within reach. But it was Mr. Thompson's transformation that struck Erica the most. Gone was the cold, dismissive manager she had first encountered. In his place was a man who seemed genuinely committed to making amends and ensuring her comfort. One afternoon, as Erica relaxed in the hotel's garden, Mr. Thompson approached her with a gentle smile. "Ms. Johnson, I hope you're finding everything to your liking," he said, his tone warm and respectful. Erica nodded, still somewhat surprised by his changed demeanor. "Yes, thank you. Everyone has been very kind." Mr. Thompson's eyes crinkled with sincerity. "I'm glad to hear that. Your actions have inspired us all to be better, to look beyond our preconceptions. I want you to know that your presence here has made a real difference." As he spoke, Erica could see the genuine change in him. It wasn't just about making up for past mistakes. Mr. Thompson truly seemed to have learned and grown from the experience. "Is there anything else we can do to make your stay more enjoyable?" he asked earnestly. Erica smiled, feeling a sense of warmth spread through her. "You've all done so much already. I'm just happy to be here, enjoying this beautiful place without any tension or discomfort." Mr. Thompson nodded, understanding the weight of her words. "We're honored to have you here, Ms. Johnson. Please, don't hesitate to ask if you need anything at all." As he walked away, Erica leaned back in her chair, taking in the beauty of the garden and the newfound peace she felt. For the first time since her arrival, she truly felt like she belonged. As the days of Erica's extended stay passed, Mr. Thompson found himself deeply reflecting on the profound impact she had made on the hotel and its staff. He knew he wanted to do something special, something that would serve as a lasting reminder of the lessons they had all learned. One afternoon, Mr. Thompson invited Erica to join him for tea in the hotel's elegant lounge. As they sat down, Erica noticed a hint of excitement in his eyes. "Ms. Johnson," Mr. Thompson began, his voice filled with warmth, "I've been thinking a lot about your time here and the incredible difference you've made. We want to honor your kindness and bravery in a special way." Erica tilted her head, curious about what he had in mind. Mr. Thompson smiled and continued, "We've decided to dedicate a suite in your honor. We're calling it the Heart of Kindness Suite. It will serve as a constant reminder of your heroism and the valuable lessons you've taught all of us here at the hotel." Erica's eyes widened in surprise. She felt a rush of emotions wash over her: pride, humility, and a deep sense of accomplishment. "Mr. Thompson, I don't know what to say. That's such an incredible gesture." "It's the least we can do," Mr. Thompson replied, his eyes glistening with sincerity. "Your actions didn't just save a life, they opened our eyes and hearts. This suite will stand as a symbol of compassion, reminding us and our future guests of the power of kindness and the importance of looking beyond appearances." Erica felt tears welling up in her eyes. She had never imagined that her vacation would turn into something so meaningful. The fact that her actions had inspired such a significant change in the hotel and its staff filled her with a profound sense of purpose. "Thank you," Erica said softly, her voice thick with emotion. "I'm truly honored. I hope that this suite will inspire others to choose kindness and understanding, no matter the circumstances." Mr. Thompson nodded, visibly moved by Erica's words. "That's exactly what we hope for, Ms. Johnson. Your legacy here will continue long after your stay, touching the lives of countless guests and staff members for years to come." The day of the ceremony arrived, and the hotel's grand ballroom was filled with a sense of anticipation and warmth. Staff members bustled about, making last-minute preparations, while guests chatted excitedly among themselves. The room was beautifully decorated with flowers and soft lighting, creating an atmosphere of elegance and celebration. Erica stood nervously at the entrance, taking deep breaths to calm her racing heart. She had never been one for the spotlight, but the genuine smiles and nods of respect from those around her helped ease her anxiety. As she entered the room, a hush fell over the crowd. Mr. Thompson stepped forward, his face beaming with pride, and gently guided Erica to the front of the room. The gathered crowd included hotel staff, guests, and to Erica's surprise, the couple whose lives she had touched so profoundly. Mr. Thompson cleared his throat and began to speak. "Ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here today to honor an extraordinary individual. Erica Johnson came to our hotel as a guest, but she leaves us as a hero and an inspiration to us all." As Mr. Thompson recounted the events of that fateful day by the pool, Erica felt a lump form in her throat. She glanced around the room, seeing tears in the eyes of many listeners, including the wife of the man she had saved. Erica's quick thinking and selfless actions not only saved a life, but also opened our eyes to the power of compassion and the dangers of prejudice. Mr. Thompson continued, "It is my great honor to present this plaque to Erica Johnson in recognition of her bravery and kindness." As Erica stepped forward to accept the plaque, the room erupted in applause. The sound grew louder and louder until everyone was on their feet, giving Erica a standing ovation. The thunderous applause seemed to go on forever, washing over Erica in waves of appreciation and respect. Overwhelmed by emotion, Erica felt tears streaming down her cheeks. She looked at the faces around her, Mr. Thompson beaming with pride, the couple she had saved wiping away tears, and the hotel staff cheering enthusiastically. In that moment, Erica realized that her actions had not only saved a life, but had also sparked a change in the hearts of many. Mr. Thompson stepped forward once again, his eyes shining with newfound purpose. He cleared his throat and addressed the crowd, his voice filled with conviction. "Ladies and gentlemen, Erica's bravery and compassion have not only saved a life, but have also opened our eyes to the importance of inclusivity and respect. Today, I am proud to announce that our hotel will be implementing new programs to foster these values among our guests and staff." A murmur of interest rippled through the audience as Mr. Thompson continued. "We will be introducing diversity training for all our employees, ensuring that everyone who walks through our doors feels welcomed and valued. Additionally, we'll be partnering with local community organizations to create internship opportunities for underrepresented groups in the hospitality industry." Erica listened intently, her heart swelling with pride. She could hardly believe that her actions had sparked such a significant change in the hotel's policies and culture. Mr. Thompson went on to outline more initiatives, including a scholarship program for aspiring hospitality professionals from diverse backgrounds and a commitment to featuring artwork from local artists of color throughout the hotel. As he spoke, Erica noticed the faces around her. The staff members were nodding in agreement, some with tears in their eyes. Guests were smiling and applauding. Even the couple she had saved looked moved by the announcements. When Mr. Thompson finished speaking, the room erupted in applause once again. Erica felt a deep sense of fulfillment wash over her. She had come to this hotel seeking rest and relaxation, but she was leaving with so much more. Her actions had not only saved a life, but had also inspired a transformation within the hotel, creating a more welcoming environment for everyone. As the applause died down, Erica caught Mr. Thompson's eye. He gave her a grateful nod, acknowledging that her influence had been the catalyst for these changes. Erica smiled back, feeling a connection with the once cold manager that she never thought possible. As Erica packed her bags, she couldn't help but marvel at how differently her vacation had turned out from what she'd expected. She carefully folded her clothes, her mind wandering over the events of the past few days. The initial sting of prejudice, the life-saving emergency by the pool, and the transformative impact she'd had on the hotel and its people. It all seemed like a whirlwind now. Erica zipped up her suitcase and took one last look around the room. Her eyes fell on the plaque she'd received, now carefully wrapped and tucked into her carry-on. It wasn't just a symbol of recognition, it was a reminder of the power of kindness and resilience. As she made her way down to the lobby, Erica felt a mix of emotions. There was a tinge of sadness at leaving this place that had become so meaningful to her, but also a bubbling excitement for what lay ahead. She knew she was returning to her demanding job as a nurse, but somehow, it didn't feel like a burden anymore. Instead, it felt like a calling, renewed and strengthened by her experiences here. Mr. Thompson was waiting for her in the lobby, his demeanor a far cry from the cold, dismissive man.